Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Global News Review. My name is Ola, and today we'll be talking about very interesting things. So, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. We'll be talking about global news, African news, and how it affects your pockets, like how it actually affects your pockets. And it's something that is very important if you don't know already. So, the first news we'll start randomly, right? We are looking at um how to fix fraud. Like if you I would like to see in the comments if you're someone who is very skeptical about the crypto space, right? Tell me why in the comments, right? Because the good news is that there is something that has been established that is going to make things better in that space. But if you are scared about the crypto space, tell me in the comment section what scares you the most. I'm curious to see. Well, for most people, one of the things that scares is one, the trading aspect, the fact that it's so volatile, and two, the fact that you can just wake up and just find that, oh, all your stable coins have been moved, or all your whatever has been moved somewhere else, like very random, like you just wake up. And the fact is that a lot of these things happen, and a lot of them go unreported. But guess what? The ones that are reported about in data, like the amount of data that we do have around this, adds up to about $47 billion in terms of what people have lost to these scams and all. So guess what? There is something called the Beacon Network that has been set up, and basically is like the police Olokpa, of the crypto space right now. Now, what is it? It's a network. You know, the way cryptocurrency in itself is a network. So it's a network, everybody communicating, and it's moving so quickly. Now, the big boys in that space, the Coinbase and Co, they have come together to create a network, or it was set up by a company, and I'll talk about the company and what it does. And basically, they're creating an ecosystem where if there is any suspicious crypto movement, they would flag it immediately and notify everybody at once, and so it can be frozen, right? And it's something called the Beacon Network, and it was set up by some guys called in a company called TRM Labs. And basically, TRM Labs is like a blockchain intelligence company, so they are the CIA or the James Bond of the crypto space. And companies, law enforcement agencies use them or use their tools, right, to track illicit transactions in the crypto space, right? So they come together to create a beacon network. And the idea of that network is that verified investigators will be manning the space. And if they flag anything, they will notify all the people, all the crypto agencies or crypto related companies in that space, or the ones that have joined the network, and then they would freeze the transaction. And so far, they've already frozen about $1.5 million from one scam and blocked another 800K worth of dollars. Now, guess what? These are the things that improve or that strengthen the case for cryptocurrency as a tool or a means of transfer. So if you are someone that has been skeptical, guess what? Things are changing right in front of us. One of the issues that we have or we have had with cryptocurrency is that because it's so on the G, right? You can't trace, you can't track. So if your money gets lost, if you lose the key to your wallet, blah blah blah, Otilo. So people are just like, I beg, let me just figure out. But if you plan to be alive in the next 20, 30 years, right? If not, like you're already 100, right, on the way out, it's something that you need to start considering, and considering your own use cases, also considering plugging it into your ecosystem for payments, for business. Why? Because the currency as a whole is becoming mainstream by these little systems and infrastructure, right? Because it's infrastructure that actually strengthens anything for you to stand and be sustainable. There's still the trading part where the value compared to the USD, it's almost like the exchange rate to the USD is always is still appreciating, right? But of course there'll be different currencies. Some countries, I think, is it Japan that just launched their own currency, their own cryptocurrency ish. I can't remember what it's called, but guess what? It's becoming mainstream slowly and surely, so that you need to start considering your own payment systems that can accommodate it. Like it's just real, it's here, like we can't escape it. So yes, big up to everyone in the crypto space that has held their ground. Okay, I can see comments. Hi Judisco. Hi Judisco, please just drop what scares you most. Are you a crypto person or Are you not? What scares you most about cryptocurrency? Like, and how would you want and what do you think about this news that we have here? Because I think it's really good. It's exciting for the space and all. Yeah, fun fact is that this session is powered by the Money with Club. So if you haven't checked us out already, we do a lot of interesting things. We have community education, we get the best deals. And at the minimum, in fact, let me even do that. At the minimum, join our email list, our free email newsletter. Let me put up the link somewhere here. Our Substack community, exactly. So it's scrolling right now. So even if you're not ready to join the Money with Club, like join our Substack community, you are very welcome. We share information, education, blah, blah, blah. You will be happy. The next news coming out of the world. Yes, this one. Was quite interesting, and I think it's an African slash global news. So, what is the question? What is the situation? MTN Group, based in South Africa, is under investigation by the U.S. Department of Justice. And what is the issue? Apparently, they had a significant stake in a company in Afghanistan, right? A telco in Afghanistan, and they are saying that based on that stake, they were aiding anti-American actions or situations or events, right? Um, it's one of those things where, as a company, there's a scale that you get into now, and it becomes not just business but also politics, because that's literally what's happening here. Why do I say that? Simple question: how can you hold Airtel for what somebody uses their phone line to do? Except if you say that Airtel was using their bank account to transfer stuff, blah, blah, blah. But if that's not the case, and it's just what those lines were used for, like who really, who really does that, right? And then MTN is not a telco, doesn't service America, right? Maybe they have financing from America. Most likely everybody does. But MTN does not service America, meaning that you can't go to the US and buy an MTN line the way you can do in Ghana, or Nigeria, right? So how would the US Department of Justice be chasing a South African company that has a stake in another company in the Middle East? Like, it's one of those things where you just pull back and say, what's happening here? Number one, South Africa is a core member of BRICS, right? And it is one of those anti-American things that Uncle Trump is not really excited about, right? That's on one side. On the other hand, for the company itself, MTN, so MTN needs to sit down and decide, because I mean, what happened was that as soon as that news came out, like their stock price like crashed. No, not crashed. It dropped by about 8%, right? Just on the back of that news. Oh, so I'll speak to Jude follow shortly. So yes, on the back of that news, their stock price came down. Their stock price came down, and then guess what? The question for them really is: do they want to endeavor or step into those areas where politics can enter into their business? Because as a shareholder, you have to make a strategic decision around that. But can MTN escape it? Almost no, based on the scale that they function in or at already, because MTN is already all of Africa. MTN is South African, so there's nothing they can do to escape from the politics of their government. So it's quite dicey, right? So it's one of those things where you have to see how it will play out. There probably will be fines, there probably will be negotiations, and it's going to be messy. It's going to cost them a lot of money. They'll have to manage their PR, because you don't want to be identified with terrorism financing with that either which way. But the question is, America, what's happening? Like, really? Really? But yeah, that's what happens when you become big. So I'm seeing some comments around crypto. I love it. And so Judesco is saying, though I just joined you now, but I'm a crypto person because it is the future. Gradually, US is working to make it the crypto headquarters. So it's the future. I love it. I realized, and that's very true. Because America is actually leading the adoption indirectly, with regulation, with structures, with systems. They're actually leading it. And what happens is that when you lead it, you call the shots. It's just as simple as that, right? Thank you for that, Judesco. And then there's Osaru Mese. He says crypto is interesting. I'm learning, but not totally against it because it's the future. I need more regulation around it so it's safer. Stuff like what you just talked about right now. Yes, so those things are here, which is why I'm saying that what are you waiting for? Those things are already here. Sometimes also you don't want to, you in fact, not sometimes, you never want to enter with your two legs. So if you go by that principle of entering one leg at a time, then why don't you just start like something little, $10 a month, things like that. But so that you begin to understand the space. Why? Because it's here to stay, especially if you're a business owner. Like for me, I'm really thinking that okay, Ola, you don't have any crypto adoption in your payment system, and that should not be. So we are thinking about it already. Do you get? That's how. So you have to be positioned for the future. If people are making payments with cryptocurrency, why can't you receive in that? Especially when it's sharp, sharp, and the fees are. Do you get? Why won't you do that? Thank you so much, guys, for the engagement. And down to the final news. Okay, this one is very Nigerian. Let me look for it. Okay, before that, if you are a there's a barcode on the screen. Like if you are in an African in diaspora, or if you have friends that are Africans and in diaspora that have jackpot, if you don't know what that word is, ask ChatGPT will explain to you and explain the history. For most of us outside of the country, what we find is that the bulk of our investment is in one single thing, real estate. But we know that that real estate, number one, is illiquid. Number two, it is long term, meaning that um you're going to be paying for a long while. And if, for example, you have your job is shaky, blah blah blah, it doesn't necessarily give you that windfall at the back, like, or that shock absorber. So you need to have a more diversified portfolio. So if you know someone that is in that space where all they have right now is that I'm just paying my mortgage, that's it, then there's a diaspora case study. You can scan the barcode, it will also be in the description, right? The diaspora case study, what it is basically how three African diaspora were able to systematically diversify their portfolio little by little. It's quite instructive and it's not heavy, right? So you can check it out. The link is in the description. And you can also scan the barcode for that. Now, moving on to the final news. The final news is from Nigeria. Oh, the headline was like, nah, race we go chop. As a Nigerian, you should understand what that means. But basically, inflation is coming down. And this conversation, I always pick it intermittently to repeat because it is something that a lot of people do not understand. Right? Inflation slows down and then they are celebrating, and everybody's like, guys, prices have not come down. And it's understandable, but I realize that for the regulators, there needs to be some education around these things, because when people are celebrating something and everybody's looking at you like Yimu, it destroys trust, right? It just spoils things. It makes it harder for you to achieve the next thing, right? Especially as a regulator who is trying to make things better. Now, what is the situation? Inflation has come down, but prices haven't come down. Yes, it's not the problem or the gap or the yimu in this situation is in the understanding, or the is in the knowledge gap around what inflation is telling us. Inflation is simply that I'm going from Lagos to Ibadan. I was driving at 200 kilometers per hour, but now I have slowed down to 100 kilometers per hour. But that does not mean I've changed direction. Doesn't mean that I've done a U-turn and I'm going back to Lagos. No, I am still heading towards Ibadan. When I do a U-turn is what is called deflation. We have not yet gotten there yet. we are far from there. So that even the regulators are not saying that we are there, right? But what it is that we are saying that if there was a time like last year, you go to the market today and buy um a book, right? The next day you go there, let's say you buy that book at 1K, next day you go there to be 1,001, next day you go there to be 1,002. That kind of bum 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 like that. And it's so shocking. So that for you as an individual, you now start thinking, sure, I won't just gather money and buy everything at once so that I don't this thing doesn't hit me in the face, right? That was hyperinflation. So what they are saying is that now when you go to the market, it's 1K today. It will now be 1K, 1,030 naira tomorrow. It will now be 1,050 naira the next day. Do you get? That speed of the jump has slowed down. Now, you would agree with me that it actually has slowed down. It's not as bad as it was, right? Bag of rice has gone up to this price. This is gone up to this price. It has actually calmed down. And it is worth celebrating, because imagine if we were still in that panic mode till now. It will be hard. It will be gangster, right? So when they say inflation has calmed down or has come down, they are not saying that prices have come down. They are saying that the things are calming down. And I am sure that you can see that things are actually calming down. In fact, even the price of bag of rice has actually come down, or it has stabilized, right? It's not like the way, the same bag, they had 10, they sold one yesterday. The remaining 9, they moved the price from 100 to 120, like that. So things have calmed down. That's what those inflation numbers say. So I would like everybody to understand and share with their friends. Why? Because if you don't understand what's happening, and this is why this live sessions are there, for us to engage, ask questions, blah blah blah. If you don't understand how these things work, you will just find that you are in an economy. The regulators are trying to do their thing, but you are not plugging in because your trust level is low, because you are saying, if they are celebrating inflation, if they are celebrating GDP, this, blah, 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 these are just jingo. Yeah, but it's important for you to understand what's literally happening and what these numbers actually mean. If you've learned something or you're going to share this with a friend, please let me know in the comments. Thank you. Now, on this note, oh, yes, I see a comment. Haha, from Osario Mesa. He says, I'll buy this month when allocating investment funds. Okay, yes, for the crypto. Oh, fantastic. $10 I can afford to lose and start from there. Get some skin in the game. I love it. That's the idea. Some skin in the game is always the best. And that's where you would know, right? You would begin to understand. Like, it's like crypto investing 101 with small money. Like, don't go to school with big money. Yeah. That's the idea. Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for engaging today. I trust this was useful. Don't forget that you can't outsource your health and your finances. You always have to engage. Be sure to share this video with a friend if you found it useful, and subscribe, hit the notification button. Be social, right? And then, okay, finally, I didn't mention that we have a workshop, a personal finance and investing workshop. It's coming up in September. So we are launching the campaign on Monday, right? So you guys are the first to hear. September 27th. If you have a friend who earns well, but their money is scattered, like they are very scattered with finances, and they have told you before, then you need to tell them about it. I'm not sure that you can. Let me see if I can share the barcode here. Okay, I can actually. Yeah. So yes, big, and there's a discount. It's starting on it's live right now, so you can actually go there and check it out. But fundamentally, that's it. And I'll just share like a testimonial from the last or from the previous. This is a 4th cohort, so I'll share a testimonial from the what's it called, the 2nd cohort. Thank you, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your week. Bye.
Hi everyone, my name is Ozoma Bichofo. I'm in Georgia, United States of America, and I'm a medical doctor. And what made me decide to sign up for this personal finance workshop was because of my desire for structure. One word that would describe my personal financial situation before the workshop is organization. Like, I was confused, yes. I would say yes. I was scattered, that was me. In this workshop, I learned the importance of figures, putting in the numbers, and first of all, give us some assignments to get done with that would help us benefit more during the workshop, and that kind of was very helpful. And definitely, yes, I would recommend this workshop to when we all want to live a very successful life, even in old age. But that cannot happen without planning and without putting in structures. And yes, these things that I learned were part of the questions that I didn't know I had that needed to be answered, and do better with my personal finances. I had a lot of notes taking, and I've been going back to view the videos over and over, and that has been very helpful. Thank you, Ola.